You know, in sales, like in marketing, or being a specialist or a consultant or in finance, you have to have the right mindset, the right personality that goes along with the role. In other words, to get the most out of a person sitting on a seat, you've got to have the right person sitting on that seat of your bus to be able to have it go where you want it to go. So you've got to make sure that for the person who holds the role, to get the best from them and be able to provide the best solution to your marketplace, you've got to make sure that you have the right people sitting on the right seat doing the right role to get the best out of it for your business, a successful business. I was having a conversation yesterday with a lady over in the US. I asked her about how she asks the question, would you like to have a conversation? How do you do lead generation? How do you ask to have them say yes or no? And she said, I don't like to be too salesy. Well, if somebody who's playing the role of sales, generally the owner of a small service-based business, says, I don't like to be salesy, what does that say? What does that say to me? It says you don't have the right mindset around growth, which, strangely enough, at the end of the day will show on the bottom line of your accounts. This person is doing $20,000, $25,000 a month, and she's saying, I should be at $80,000 a month. I said, yeah, you should be, but you're doing sales. Now, yes, you might know more about the business and your offering and be the best person to do delivery, but you might be the best person to do sales. And certainly as you're starting off in your business, being the CFE, or what I call the chief of everything, you have to wonder if you're the right person to do sales. Now, naturally in a small business, we sit up and go, I'll have to do everything. Yeah, that's probably true. However, you might be limiting the success of your business by having that mindset. And so, what if you considered this? What if you considered the one part of your business, which is the attraction mode, getting more leads, having more conversations, was actually given off to somebody who was better at it than you? That's a person with the right mindset, a person who can take rejection, a person who is resilient, as the Japanese proverb says, get knocked down 6 times, get up 7. That's the sort of person that you want, especially on a phone doing outbound calls. Now, I'm not talking about regular marketing. I'm talking top of funnel, identifying interest from a marketplace, from a database. So being able to find interest from a database is the top of funnel before we pass it off to qualification and conversion. So that's the question to ask. If you're not the right person or you don't have the right mindset, you have to have a mindset of giving and asking and sharing and being knocked down and being grateful for every opportunity and being grateful to be able to help somebody achieve what they need, overcome their problem, find a solution for them, and then pass them on to the person who can qualify as to whether this person's a great fit for our business. So if you're not the right person, in other words, you're a person who says, I don't like being salesy, I would suggest that you're a person who likes working with people at the bottom of the funnel, once they've become a client, or helping a person to convert into a sale, but you're now having a relationship type conversation with them rather than a interest type qualification conversation. If you're a person who hates getting told no and gets sad when somebody hangs up on you, you're probably not the right person to do outbound calling, outbound prospecting, outbound appointment setting, which is what it's called. So keep that in mind when you understand at the top of the funnel, if you consider a funnel being broken into 3 pieces, interest, qualification, and conversion. When you look at that first piece, when you're just throwing everything into the top of the funnel, you're going to get a lot of rejection. You're going to get some opportunity, and you're going to get even less true opportunities walk through to triage or qualification. So keep that in mind when you're selecting who the right person is, or if you don't like to be called salesy, then maybe get out of the road and find out who can possibly do this role for you. Because if you're doing $25,000 a month now, as in the case of some people I've talked to, you could have actually been doing $50,000 to $75,000 a month because you were the person who was probably the biggest block to the growth of your business. You might know everything about the business, but you might be the best person to introduce it through outbound channels directly into business. Keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm going back to some writing because I've got a lot to put down for my thoughts for the week.